One day, a man called his girlfriend and asked, "Can you come and help me with some work at home? I'm busy right now, I can't." Then the man called his best friend. "Can you help me with something?" he asked. "I'm doing something else, maybe later," his friend replied. Feeling a bit sad, the man did all the work by himself. The next day, the man was watching TV when his phone rang. "I need help. Are you free?" his girlfriend asked. "Yes, I'll come right away." He went to her house and helped her all day. In the evening, the man asked, "Do you want to go to a restaurant?" "I'm hungry. I'm too tired," she replied. The man then called his best friend. "Do you want to eat out with me?" he asked. "I'm playing video games. Not now." Feeling lonely, the man went to the restaurant alone. While he was sitting there, a woman sat next to him and asked, "Can I eat with you?" "Sure," the man said. "It feels like nobody has time for me when I need them." The woman laughed and said, "I know what you mean, but don't worry. You'll learn something soon." "Learn what?" The woman smiled and said, "No matter how much you love someone, don't make time for people who can't make time for you." There lived two friends, Sinan and Tariq. One day, Tariq borrowed 50 dinars from Sinan, promising to return it soon. However, many days passed, and Tariq made no effort to repay the money. When Sinan reminded him about the debt, Tariq flatly denied ever borrowing anything. Frustrated and feeling betrayed, Sinan decided to seek help from the village judge, known for his wisdom and fairness. Sinan explained his predicament to the judge, detailing how Tariq had borrowed 50 dinars and now refused to acknowledge the debt. The judge summoned Tariq to court. Standing before the judge, Tariq denied taking any money and boldly challenged, "Bring anyone to testify that I took 50 dinars from him." The judge then turned to Sinan and asked if he had any witnesses. Sinan explained that he had given Tariq the money in secret to avoid embarrassing him. The wise judge thought for a moment, then instructed Sinan, "Go to the place where you gave him the money and bring back a handful of dust from there." Sinan left, heading to the outskirts of the village, where he had given Tariq the money. The villagers, intrigued by the unusual request, began to gather around the courthouse. They whispered among themselves, speculating about the judge's plan. As Sinan took longer to return, the judge casually asked Tariq, "Do you think your friend has reached the place yet?" Without thinking, Tariq blurted out, "No, Your Honor. That place is too far away." The judge's eyes twinkled with triumph. He turned to Tariq and said, "How did you know the place was far away if you never borrowed the money?" Realizing he had been caught in his lie, Tariq's face turned pale, and he had no answer. The judge ordered the soldiers to arrest Tariq. He then pronounced, "For attempting to deceive the court and your friend, you shall repay Sinan not just the 50 dinars, but 10 times the amount, 500 dinars. Let this be a lesson to all that dishonesty will not be tolerated." The villagers gasped and murmured among themselves, impressed by the judge's cleverness. News of the incident spread quickly, becoming a tale told and retold by parents to their children, reminding everyone of the importance of honesty and integrity. A little boy sat on a bench near a police station every day. One day, a policeman asked, "Who are you waiting for?" The boy said, "I'm waiting for my dad to come home." Each day, the policeman saw the boy sitting on the same bench, waiting until nightfall. The next day, the policeman asked, "When will your dad come back?" "Soon," the boy answered. Winter came and the boy still waited. One day the boy was crying, and the policeman asked, "Is everything okay? Is your dad coming?" With tears, the boy said, "My dad went to war a year ago and died. He promised he would come back, so I wait here every day. I know he will never come back, but the hope that I might see him again fills my heart." A little boy came home late every night. One night, his mom was really mad and yelled, "Why are you coming home so late? It's dangerous. Next time you will be punished." The boy said, "I'm sorry, Mom." The next night, he came home late again. His mom was angry and said, "If you keep this up, you won't get any dinner tonight. Just go to bed." The boy went to bed without eating. The next morning, he left the house and came back at midnight again. This time, his mom stayed quiet but decided to follow him the next day. She watched as he went to school. After school, he took a little girl in a wheelchair wheelchair to the hospital. The mom followed them into the hospital and watched through a window. Her son was feeding the girl and talking to her with a warm smile. They stayed together until midnight. Before he left, he told the girl, "I have to go now or my mom will be upset. I love you and I know you'll be okay." He hugged her and left. The mom went home and soon after her son arrived. He looked at her and said, "I'm really sorry, Mom. I should be punished." With tears in her eyes, the mother hugged him tightly and said, "No, dear, I should be the one who's sorry, not you." A teenage girl had a big fight with her mom and ran away from home. She walked for a long time and met a kind man selling hot dogs. He asked if she wanted something to eat. She said she had no money, but he still gave her a hot dog. As she ate, tears started falling down her face. The man saw and asked, "Why are you crying, dear?" The girl said, "Thank you for the hot dog. You don't even know me, yet you gave me food. My mom and I fought, and she told me not to come back." The man thought for a moment and said, "I gave you just one hot dog, and you are so thankful. Think about your mom who cooks for you every day. Why are you so angry with her?" The girl realized she had made a mistake. She decided to go back home. When she got closer, she saw her mom searching for her, very worried. The girl ran into her mother's arms and both of them cried. The girl said, "Mom, I'm really sorry for making you worry." Two men visited a wise man seeking advice about moving to a new town. The first man approached and said, "I'm thinking of moving to this town. What's it like?" The wise man replied with a question of his own. "What was your old town like?" The first man frowned and said, "It was dreadful. Everyone was unfriendly, and I hated living there." The wise man nodded thoughtfully and said, "This town is very much the same. I don't think you should move here." The first man, disappointed, left. Shortly after, the second man came forward and said, "I'm considering moving to this town. What's it like?" Again, the wise man asked, "What was your old town like?" The second man smiled and said, "It was wonderful. The people were kind, and I was happy there. I'm just looking for a change of scenery." The wise man smiled back and said, "This town is very much the same. I think you will like it here." As the second man was about to leave, the wise man added, "How you see the world around you often reflects what's inside you. If you carry kindness in your heart, you'll find kindness wherever you go. But if you carry bitterness, the world will seem bitter no matter where you are." This story reminds us that our experiences are shaped by our attitudes. What we find in a new place often depends on what we bring with us. Jack was a wealthy man with many friends, or so he thought. He often takes his friends to luxury restaurants and travels. One evening, he sat alone in his mansion and wondered, do they care for me or just my money? To find out, Jack sent a message to all his friends. "I've lost everything. Please help me, and I am desperate." As the hours passed, one by one, his friends made excuses. "I'm sorry. I'm busy. I wish I could help, but I can't." Days passed, and no one came, except for one, a gardener who used to work for Jack. The gardener knocked on his door, bringing a small bag of food and a little cash he had saved. "Jack, I heard you needed help. This is all I have, but it's yours." Jack, moved by the gesture, smiled. "Thank you, my friend. I'm not really in need, but today I learned who my true friend is." He gave the gardener a check for $100,000. "Take this as a token of my gratitude. You are my only real friend." The gardener, stunned and grateful, accepted it. Jack realized true friendship isn't about wealth, but about love and loyalty shown when needed most.
In your eyes, so let's paint the sky.
Stay blessed.